Well, new at 10, a foster mother in Pueblo headed to prison tonight. We've been following the case of Sarah Finn after the death last August of 2-year-old Chassie Pietrolungo, who was in her care. Besides, Lena Howland in court today. She's live in our Pueblo studio with more. Lena?
Rob, Sarah Finn was sentenced to 7 years in prison for child abuse, resulting in death. In the courtroom today, an emotional ending to what's been a heart-wrenching story from the very beginning.
She was just a fun-loving, normal 2-year-old kid.
Emotions ran high in the courtroom today as Sarah Finn was sentenced to 7 years in prison and 5 years parole in the death of her 2-year-old foster child, Chassie.
No matter what, it doesn't bring Chassie back. There's a loss that just cannot be replaced.
Although she showed remorse in court, the judge says Sarah failed to give Chassie proper medical care after a series of falls over 3 days back in August of 2014.
My own feeling is the child was abused, just flat out abused. The stories are totally inconsistent, but we'll never know. As I told the judge, only God and Sarah Finn know what happened.
Chassie's former caretaker, George Mayfield, says he is pleased with the judge's decision.
It doesn't matter what the sentence was. Probation would have been entirely inappropriate.
We spoke with Chassie's birth mother, Chassie Pietrolungo, after the hearing. As we first told you on News 5, Karen was in prison at the time of this tragedy.
I'm just glad that it's not being swept under the rug and that people are going to be aware of it.
Sarah apologized to Karen during her tearful final statement to the judge.
I am glad that she took personal responsibility.
As Sarah Finn is escorted from the courtroom, she also leaves behind a biological child of her own.
I feel sad for her child because I know me not having my daughter and her not having her daughter, I know what she's going to feel.
Sarah's husband, Paul Finn, was sentenced to 10 years probation last summer. Once Sarah gets out of prison, she will not be able to have custody of any child under the age of 12. Live in Pueblo, Lena Howland, News 5.